Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity Halton Peel and this wonderful morning, August 31st, the last Sunday of August, or the last day of August, the last day of our summer months and moving into September. It's unbelievable. Can't believe it's already passed. So welcome and glad to have you with us. And our guest speaker this morning is Reverend Dr. Jane Simmons, and we look forward to hearing from Jane. Together, let's state our mission statement. Our mission: to lovingly inspire transformation and be of service to the world. And I would ask Margaret Morton, please, to read the daily word.
Thanks, Patty. Healing is the topic. I use uplifting words to support my healing. A teacher asked students to draw self-portraits surrounded by rays of sunshine and swords radiating from their hearts. The rays represented uplifting words. The swords symbolized hurtful ones. This exercise powerfully illustrated that words can heal or harm. Today, I commit to using words that affirm my divinity. I receive these sentiments into my heart, acknowledging their truth. I release any words that do not uplift me. I heal myself by using words of kindness and encouragement. I will also be mindful of the way I speak to others, choosing words that soothe, strengthen, and affirm. I honor the light within everyone and help to create a healthy, compassionate world. My child, be attentive to words. Do not let them escape from your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them and healing to all their flesh. Proverbs 4:20-22.
Thank you, Margaret, for this beautiful reading on us Healing Sunday morning. So let's state our affirmation for the year 2025. We at Unity Halton Peel are blessed with an abundantly thriving community. It is done. And so it is. And our opening song this morning, I Claim a Blessing, a new one for us by Claudia Carawan.
In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start the day. Knowing good is on the way. I am claiming perfect health, love and laughter, breath passing on the good. Life is filled with opportunity. I wonder what good is coming to me. Yeah, I claim a blessing. I claim it. I claim a blessing. I claim it. Yeah, yeah. I claim a blessing. I claim it. I claim a blessing. Yeah, I claim it. Bring it to me. Give it to me. Now bring it on me. I claim a blessing. I claim it. I claim a blessing.
There we go. So, with the affirmation for the month of August is, I am healthy in each moment. Miracles are taking place in my body. During the month of August, we are praying with Unity Center of Montreal and Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute, which is undergoing a lot of changes. And the affirmations, the individual affirmations for the month: inner peace, let's say these together. Inner peace, my mind and heart are steeped in peace. My mind and heart are steeped in peace. Wisdom, centered in divine wisdom, I discern my next steps. Centered in divine wisdom, I discern my next steps. Life, attuned to infinite vitality, I thrive. Attuned to infinite vitality, I thrive. Prosperity, I live richly in appreciation. I live richly in appreciation. Worth, I am a divine human, worthy and wondrous. I am a divine human, worthy and wondrous. And I will turn over now to Reverend Dr. Jane Simmons with the opening prayer. Jane, please go ahead.
Yeah, let's take a moment as we become totally present to this time, this place, this space that we share, this energetic space that we share. And we open ourselves to the greater dimension within us. We devote our time together to the expression of this greater self. So breathe that in. We devote this time together to the expression of the greater self within us. Knowing that each one of us is here to be the one to make the difference in our world, our little corner of the world, whatever that looks like, however that is. We are here to be the one to bring peace to our world. So we take a breath and we give grateful thanks for the opportunity to be peace and expression on this day. We give thanks for the one presence, the one power, the one life that lives itself through and as each one of us, here and now. And for this wondrous truth, we are grateful. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Jane. And just carry right on. This is your time. After enlightenment, the laundry. For sure.
All right. Well, you know what? It's so wonderful to be with you all this morning. As we're moving into the fall months, and I hope you've had a lovely summer. I was on a road trip through the northern part of the U.S. Gary and I in our RV drove across the country, and we stopped in New York State to visit Gary's son, my stepson, and his family. And then we got to the coast and went directly up to Nova Scotia to visit my daughter and my grandkids. And it was just a lovely, lovely time. And I made it to Hamilton for a short visit and had a wonderful lunch with some of my Unity friends to just top it all off. It was beautiful, and then came back to the US. And it's a very hard time to live in the US right now, I gotta tell you, especially for a Canadian. It just is really hard to live here and to be witnessing and experiencing all that's happening. But luckily, I live so close to the Canadian border. Anytime I need some Canadian sanity, I need to breathe some Canadian air, I need to walk on some Canadian soil, I just head 30 miles north and get across that border and drink it in. And it just does my heart so good. So it's been very good for my heart to be with my Canadian family, friends, loved ones this summer, and especially this morning. I always love being with you all. It's just a highlight for me to come here and visit with you. So I'm delighted to be here. It's been a while. It's been, I think, June, last time I was here. So so it's good to be back. So my talk title, as you heard this morning, is After Enlightenment, the Laundry. And this wisdom has been around since ancient times because, of course, this is a modern version of the Zen koan. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. And what this means to me is that there's no ending date on our spiritual journey. There's no time that we've actually arrived and say, okay, we're done. It's ongoing. It's ongoing. And the real work actually begins whenever we have an awakening moment, some kind of an aha moment where we see something we hadn't seen before. We see more of who we are. We go beyond our former thinking and have an epiphany of some kind. And now the real work begins. Ken Wilber tells us that the spiritual enlightenment has 4 aspects to it. Spiritual evolutionary transformation has 4 aspects, and they are waking up, waking up, which is all about awakening to a new, deeper understanding, or, just waking up to something we hadn't seen before, right? Seeing something we hadn't seen before. But also it's growing up, which is our human developmental process that goes on, and it goes on throughout our lives. Sometimes we think we hit adulthood and we're done with our development. No. There's adult development that really keeps on going. So we never stop developing and growing and evolving and becoming more. So that's an important aspect of it. But there's also cleaning up, which is working with integrating our shadow, integration of the shadow, healing of the shadow, dealing with our unfinished business from the past. That's a really big part of our spiritual journey, because then we have the 4th aspect, which is showing up in our wholeness, making a difference in our world, And we can think of these 4 as 4 pillars that undergird a living portal. That's the way I've heard it said. There are 4 pillars, and they give us access to a living portal where we can really shift and change and grow and expand. And so Ken points out that most spiritual communities have focused on the waking up and showing up part, basically, right? Waking up to something greater, helping us to widen our understanding and to see things differently, but also maybe to get out into the world and make the world a better place. Waking up and showing up. And he explains that the growing up and the cleaning up, the developmental stages and the shadow work arenas, these have been largely relegated to the psychological realm. Spiritual communities taking care of the waking up and showing up, psychology, the growing up and the cleaning up. And he cautions us, he gives a little counsel here. The spiritual communities of the future need to incorporate all four if they're going to continue to be relevant in our world, in our changing world, our ever-changing world. And if we're really about transformation, transforming ourselves, transforming our world, we cannot, disregard any of these four. And I've taken his words to heart. This is what we teach in our integral ministry program. We teach this to all of our students, that there's four aspects and we need to be doing all of them. So today I thought we could take a little visit to the seldom visited realm of cleaning up. It's something I've tended to avoid in the past. But we can look to those who have awakened in some way and what happened next to give us a clue as to how we go about doing this cleaning up. What can our wayshowers' teachings and stories tell us about that work? So we begin with that fateful moment when Jesus, we read about in the book of John, where Jesus is baptized by his cousin John the Baptist. And in the scriptural account, the Holy Spirit descends with great fanfare, the heavens open, and the infinite proclaims, "This is my Son, in whom I am well pleased." Now, imagine getting that kind of feedback from the universe. Whoa, God's pleased with me. Wouldn't you want to go out and party, celebrate a little, baby? Would you feel some pride? That's definitely what the ego would be shouting at me to do. Is that what Jesus did? No. Oh, no. He headed to the desert for 40 days of fasting. Now, his ego must have been screaming, "What are you doing? This is where the feasting comes in, bro, not the fasting. What are you thinking here?" But if we look at this story through mythic eyes, through a metaphysical lens, it tells us after we've had an awakening, an aha moment where we see something we hadn't seen before, it's not the time for us to decide we are now complete in our spiritual development. Rather, it's time to look even deeper, and see, for instance, if I have the compulsion to let the world know that I have now arrived, well, that's probably the next hurdle for me to overcome on my continuing journey of self-realization, right? This desire to go, all right, I'm there. And what did Jesus do in those 40 days? Scripture tells us he faced his temptations. So let's take a little closer look at those, because they're all egoic traps that we might encounter ourselves. The first one is power. You can have all the power of the world. You can have all the power of the world. The second one is bread, turning stone to bread. You can finally end your fast. You must be starving. Why don't you eat? And the third one, you can prove your worth by having angels save you when you dive headlong off this pinnacle you now find yourself on. Show us how important you are. Do you see this? You can have all the power in the world. You can succumb to the bodily sensations and needs, and you can show us all your importance through this. Now, interestingly, I have to say the Buddha had a very similar experience in his awakening journey. In his story, the demon Mara is the ruler of desire and illusion, and sees the Buddha's awakening as a threat, a direct challenge to Mara's illusory control over the human mind. Somebody's waking up, they're getting beyond it. And so he tried to seduce him with beautiful women. When that didn't work, he tried to frighten him with terrifying visions. And then finally, his final test was to sow doubt in his own worthiness, to give him doubt, his own ability to stay the course. Mara tried to erode the Buddha's sense of self-worth, and the Buddha overcame them all. So when we have these moments of clarity, of spiritual growth, of deep wisdom, of understanding, we need to watch for maybe a resulting boomerang effect. Spiritual pride that might show up, testing God, succumbing to bodily cravings or engaging in addictive behavior, and letting fear or doubt or unworthiness scare us away from this more expansive awareness. And I recognize all of those things as things that I have come face to face with, right? So during this vulnerable time, when we've grown beyond where we were, but we're not yet securely situated in this new developmental stage, it's then that we have the opportunity to pay attention. Pay attention to what may be getting in the way of transcending fully what was. And then, whatever that is, we want to clean it up. But without doing this very important inner work first, we have no chance of transforming our outer world. We can do all the outer work we want, but until we start here and do the work here first, it's not going to, we're just going to keep seeing it reflected back to us, whatever it is we're still harboring within ourselves and not integrating. I read about an Anglican bishop who discovered this truth too late in his life. Written on his tombstone are these words: "When I was young and free, and my imagination had no limits, I dreamed of changing the world." It starts with that. Changing the world. But as I grew older and wiser, I discovered the world wouldn't change. So I shortened my sights somewhat. I decided I'm going to change only my country. But that too seemed immovable. As I grew into my twilight years, in one last desperate attempt, I settled for just changing my own family, those closest to me. But alas, they would have none of it, he says. And now I'm on my deathbed and I realize, if I had only changed myself first, then by example, I would have changed my family. From their inspiration and encouragement, I would then have been able to better serve my country. And who knows, I may have even changed the world. So if we don't start within and do the cleanup work, we won't make change in the outer world. And every single moment, we have the opportunity to do that, to make the difference wherever we find ourselves. It's all about internal transformation. James Redfield, the author, writes this: "For us to really know our mission on earth, we have to be willing to, inner change creates outer change. In order for us to know our mission on earth, we have to be willing to eliminate whatever is in the way, whatever's contradicting the truth. And we need to discover and address what is unresolved from our earlier years that may be blocking our evolutionary development in life. That comes from the cleanup work of integrating our unfinished business from the past." Now, a little caveat here. If there's some really capital T unresolved trauma from the past, you may want to get some extra support for that. You know, it's helpful to have therapeutic help going through that type of trauma. But I'm talking about those painful moments from the past, where we said the wrong thing in school and got laughed at, those kind of things. If they're still lurking under the surface, the beliefs that we may have taken on because of those moments, they're going to keep on being reflected back to us in some way, And if we don't do it, the effect of those negative experiences doesn't go away. Unresolved issues, they remain alive under the surface of our awareness. They sap our energy. We become stuck. We can't move forward. To do so, we need to become very aware of when the ego is in charge, when we're being triggered by something from our past, when we're being judgmental, blaming, critical both to ourselves and someone else, those are little hints for us that we're in a triggering moment right now, and we want to pay attention to that. Those triggering moments, they are gold. They don't feel like it usually, but they are a golden opportunity for us to uncover what kind of beliefs may still be lurking in our consciousness, because those beliefs are going to sabotage our success until we do. Again, from the wisdom of James Redfield, our beliefs are the stories we tell ourselves inside that become that show up on the newsstand of our lives. And so the stories we tell ourselves today become tomorrow's news. You know, as Carl Jung put it this way: until you make the unconscious conscious, it's going to direct your life, and you will call it fate. We'll call it fate. This keeps happening to me. The truth is that the story of our life is our fate is ours to write, but we can either write it consciously or unconsciously. You know, we're the author here. So take a look at what's going on inside. And using triggering moments that are happening to us in order to embody a deeper sense of who we've come here to be, that helps us to step out of who we're not, our fears, feelings of inadequacy, low self-worth, insecurity, addictive behavior, however it shows up for us. And really, we're talking about the kinds of hurdles that our awakened way showers have had to face and overcome. When you think about it, very similar. Because they're going to show up in our life and we'll call them fate. This has really far-reaching consequences in our lives, in our jobs, our health, our relationships, our family life. Something I read recently in the Stoics meditation: hey, make peace with your demons or they're going to raise your kids. Oh God, what kind of bad news is that, you know? But it's true. If we're not conscious of the patterns that are running our lives, we're passing them on, and they will just be reflected back to us in some way, and we will continue to live a conditioned, unconscious life, connected to the past, not the present. But Stephen Covey tells us, live out of your imagination, not your history. Live out of your imagination, not your history. As we let go and release those addictive past hurts, we can create something new, something different, something greater in our lives. It gives us that liberation, the freedom to do so. It's exciting. So can we all be in agreement as to the importance of really discovering what's standing in our way, of deepening our spiritual work, and then doing the integration work around it? Since until we do, it's just going to keep showing up in some form in our experience. Can we all be in agreement on the importance of that? But here's the thing. We do this work with total self-compassion, self-kindness, radical tenderness and gentleness towards ourselves. We don't do it with any kind of self-judgment or self-condemnation, not even a hint of that. And that is a part that typically, what do we do when we discover these things? I know for me, I'll start beating myself up about it. It's all got to be done with kindness and compassion, because it's part of the human condition here, you know. We don't want to go around blaming anybody else or blaming ourselves. This is what happens to us when we're born into the human condition. And it's not our fault, but it is our responsibility to work with what got created because of this, you see. And then what happens? Clearing this path, we start to live joyfully, fully present to the people and the situations around us, allowing whatever's showing up in the moment to give us an opportunity to transform, to grow, to expand, to evolve, to heal the past. We start using what is and allowing what is in a greater and greater way. And when we learn to work through those triggering moments while still remaining at peace, when we can stay connected during times of disagreement, when we can be loving and kind to ourselves and others, even in times of great stress, do you see that is what making the difference is all about? I mean, get it? Do you get this? Do you see how important it is right now for us to be doing this work? This is how we deal with the polarization that's rampant in our world right now. This is the advanced course, I have to tell you, but it can lead us to transforming the world. It truly, truly can. Creating a better world for our children, for our grandchildren, for all of our fellow human beings. This is the work. It starts here. Sri Aurobindo, the great spiritual teacher, says this: a spiritualized society would live like its spiritual individuals. You see, the more we become who we truly are, the more society has an option of becoming that as well. He says it's not about being in the ego, but in the spirit. It's not about being in a collective ego, which we can look at our world right now. And is that what this is? It's being about the collective soul. So imagine living as a spiritualized society, a collective soul. That's my vision for us and for me, to begin living the way I want this world to be, with the kindness, the caring, the compassion that I want to see more of in the world. I need to become that. I need to embody that. And the good news is, guess what? We have an internal teacher that can guide us in creating this world. A universal personal tutor, if you will, that can guide us right through the whole thing. And we learn to allow the universe or life itself to coach us moment by moment. When we start letting the universe coach us, or whatever's showing up in the moment, be our coach, be our guide, and letting the heart be the compass, telling us what to do, where to go. That's when we're on this path, and we need to spend time in the silence. And as we use the heart to show us the next step, we're given the next step. And we have to practice this, but we learn to make a difference right where we are, right here, right now, and make no mistake. Our actions matter. What we do matters in a great way. A few years ago, I was in Canada for a family reunion on my father's side. My parents had already passed away, but I was there with all my cousins. And at the gathering, someone brought a group picture that was taken from the last chapel reunion in 1951. And as I looked over the picture, I saw my parents as teenagers. I tried to put little arrows where they are, but it wouldn't let me do it. I kept on taking the whole picture up. But believe me, they're there. They're teenagers. They weren't married yet. They were preparing to get married, but they weren't. I saw my uncles as children, my grandparents as middle-aged parents, saw my great-grandparents as elderly. And I realized as I looked at this picture and then looked around at the 60 or so people at this gathering, they were all cousins, children of cousins, even some grandchildren of cousins, that we were all descendants of my great-grandparents, all of us. And how cool would that feel to them to see what had been created through them? I imagine the two of them being transported magically to our gathering and to see what had come of their union. And guess what? All of us have that ability to have that same sphere of influence. Our actions today have a ripple effect, and we may not even see those consequences in this lifetime. We may not even see it, but we can rest assured who you are and what you do matters in this world. And as our Anglican bishop said it so eloquently, by transforming myself, I can, by example, transform my family. My family can affect the community, which can make a difference in the world. And this ripple effect from one person's change of heart can have far-reaching consequences. One awakened person can help others to wake up. That's the Buddha's great lesson. His dying words are purported to be lamps unto yourself. Thich Nhat Hanh once said that as a young monk, he was taught to practice mindfulness, staying present to what is. And he thought, oh, here's the beginning. when I've been here for a few years, I'll go on to something else. No. What did he continue to practice throughout his life? Being mindful in the moment. Chop wood, carry water. We can do the same. Become mindful of whatever's arising and use any triggering moments to uncover what's keeping you from expressing your full potential. That's the work. That's keeping you from being who you've come here to be. And then we do the integration work with compassion, kindness, tenderness, making the unconscious conscious so that we can stop meeting it as fate, becoming a presence of peace and harmony, embodying it in the world, being a lamp that shines the light of love to all that we meet. And as we do that, we bring order, we bring compassion to our world, our little corner of the world. So, after enlightenment, the laundry. After an epiphany, after an awakening moment, get ready to send in the cleanup crew. And as we clean up our past, we can show up day by day by day in our wholeness. Do you see, it's a different way of being in the world. We're not reacting to what's being reflected back to us. We're being who we've come here to be and bringing that into the world. Truly being the change that we seek. And this is what the work is. And I believe now more than ever, we are being called to be the change that we're seeking in the world. Chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, it's time for the laundry. Let's get to it. So let's take a moment right now and take some time in a time of meditation, really connecting with that deep source within us, which is what guides us in this whole process. So I'll invite us all to get centered, get settled in your seat. If you can put your feet flat on the floor, go ahead and do that. And then focus your attention on the soles of your feet. Feel yourself grounded, centered, rooted, right where you sit. Now we move our attention slowly up through the legs, through the trunk of our bodies, through the arms and hands, upward through the shoulders, the neck, to the head. Really inhabit this moment. And we begin to follow the breath as it moves in and out. And just imagine breathing into your heart space. And if you want to put your hands on your heart, go ahead and do that. But as you imagine breathing right into the heart, bring into your awareness someone or something that you feel gratitude towards. Could be a beloved person in your life, could be a cherished pet, could be a warm memory or a place of beauty that you love to go to. Choose someone or something that activates a feeling of gratitude. We don't want to just think about it, we want to feel it. I just have to think about any one of my little grandsons and I'm there. So let that feeling of gratitude warm your heart. Now we want it to radiate beyond the heart. Feel it expanding and moving throughout the body. Just imagine every single cell of your body being invigorated by this healing and high vibration of appreciation, gratitude. It's a generative power. And as we let it expand beyond the body, we're creating an energetic field of appreciation, gratitude. We open ourselves to that deeper dimension that becomes accessible to us as we feel this gratitude. The heart intelligence becomes available for us. The deeper wisdom of the one presence, the one power. And we let this feeling expand and grow even beyond the walls of the room we're sitting in. We send it forth to bless our world. And as each one of us becomes the conduit for this healing vibration, we move into being the change, embodying the change that we seek to see happen in this world. For the opportunity to be spirit in action, here and now, sending out these ripples to bless all of those around us. We begin to transform our selves, our family life, our community, and beyond. And for this, we are grateful. And so it is.
Amen.
Amen.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved.
Wow. Thank you, Jean, for a beautiful lesson. And oh, that meditation song just takes me back to that beautiful sanctuary where we all embraced each other and held hands and enjoyed that time together. Our Unity Prayer Chaplain, Diane Riley, is with us this morning. Diane, thank you so much for being with us and always holding the high watch. If anyone has a prayer request, please feel free to email our lead prayer chaplain, Diane Riley, in confidence. Her email is here below. Your request is held in confidence and sent to our Unity Halton Peel prayer team, and then also sent on to Unity, Silent Unity, for 30 days of prayer, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you can find the direct phone number for Unity, Silent Unity, on our website and in our newsletter. So please make sure that anytime that you're in need of prayer, you can either contact Diane and or contact Silent Unity. And we'd like to remind you and thank you for your ongoing donations and contributions to this ministry. It allows us to continue, so thank you for your continued support. We do appreciate it. Let's take a moment now to think of those gifts that we're sending and together repeat this prayer of thanksgiving. Divine love, now flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and it is a blessing wherever it goes in this world. And there's usually a slide here showing you where we send it, but we'll get to that in a minute. Obviously, on Sunday, September 7th, we're having Reverend Cheryl Driscoll out of Ottawa as our guest speaker. Cheryl was ordained in June, and so we look forward to hearing from her. And you'll remember that Dr. Ann Terrio is Cheryl's partner, so we'll no doubt see Anne as well. Our next book study here is beginning on September 18th on Zoom with Debbie Long. Please let Debbie know that you would like to attend this. This is put out by Unity of York region, and so they will provide a connection for you. If you wish to have the book, you can purchase it on Amazon for $24. It isn't necessary to have the book, but if you wish to participate that way, that's the book that you get. So this was the slide I was looking for, one step before. During the months of July and August, we have sent a portion of our 14% a month tithe to Canadian Red Cross Wildfire, Unity Canada, and Eden Food for Change. During the month of September, we will be directing that to a different charity recommended by Debbie after speaking to all of you when she's made some visits. If you're joining us for the first time, this is a reminder or information about how to find our newsletter. Our newsletter comes out every single Wednesday, and it's under resource on our website. And if you'd like to sign up so that you're aware of who our guest speakers are, you can do that. Or you could go to our website, which helps us with visibility. Every time you click on our website, it increases our visibility to others that might be looking for Unity. And the website tells you far in advance, right to the end of the year, who we have lined up for guest speaking. Let's take a moment now to bless the children of you and youth of Unity. Children and youth of Unity and of the world, we love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. And the prayer of protection, the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. And we come to an end today with our closing song, I Choose Peace by I Choose Love.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. I choose love. Peace in my family